Any memorable cases that you worked on that you remember very clearly? Something happened. You nailed. Was it 5 people?
Yeah, there's one particular case which was very good. It was a case of killing. It was a contract killing, wasn't it? It was a contract
Yeah,
killing
that's right.
whereby it happened in Acton, and
Close to me.
yes, indeed, not very far away, the other end of Acton, West Acton,
Yeah.
and the this girl, her husband didn't like the chap she was going to marry, and so he put a contract out on this bloke, and 3 of his mates come from all over the country, up north, came down, and one of them hit him, and he was dead before he hit the floor.
Oh.
Oh yeah, one of the people who did the killing or was involved in it lived in Hackney. So we stood on the address anyway, and eventually this chap came. We happened to nick this chap. We took him to Acton Police Station, and he was saying nothing. So I said to him, "Look, you've got a girlfriend, a bird. I was calling it a bird. Say, let's tell your bird, girlfriend, where you are. I mean, I don't need to know. I don't need to go around there, but you need to tell her, don't you?" So he said, "Yeah, tell me. Just give me her phone number. Just tell me where she lived." And of course, obviously, once I had the phone number, I had the address, and once I had his address through the phone number, we were able to nick the rest of them, or arrest the rest of the gang. There's 5 of them.
Let me ask you, were you armed? Were any of you armed when you went to the house to nick them?
No, we didn't. We didn't. We just had truncheons, small truncheons if necessary. But the thing is, with truncheon, you forget about it. There was an armed squad. Obviously, if you want an armed unit, you'd have a special armed unit. I used to carry a gun at one time as part of the armed unit, but I gave it up because it wasn't necessary. I didn't need it.
That single bit there, Noz, is what I get asked all the time by my police friends over here. What do you mean in London they don't carry guns? I said, well, that's true. Once you let guns in, then you can't stop what's going to happen there.
Yeah, the average copper doesn't carry a gun, but there is a special squad. Obviously, if you need a gun, a unit, an armed unit, you call for them, and of course they're there in double quick time.
But so you went to get these guys that did a contract killing, armed with a truncheon. What happened when you got there?
Oh, when I got there, we just saw this bloke, and I tell you, he was in his kitchen. I'll never forget one of them. He was in his kitchen, and he was like a kung fu bloke. He had a big bag up in his kitchen, like the boxing bag, and he was punching it actually when we got there. And just a few chosen words to him, told him he was nicked, and he's coming to London with us. We handcuffed him and took him down there, and the rest is history.
Yeah,
we nicked about 5 of them. In fact, they all went to the Old Bailey. They all got found guilty, and they all were doing a bit of bird.
All went down for it. Were you commended after that, Norwell?
Yes, I got a commendation for that, together with my because I was in charge of the operation, and we got a commendation.
At that point, they're beginning to see who you really are.
Yeah, I suppose you could say that.
I would say that. Because up to that point, Noz, I mean, you've just been a black cop in London. Still at that point, the first one?
No. By that time, there were a few of us.
Okay.
But obviously, I was the most prominent because I was the longest serving black copper.
Yeah. So Noz used to come into our wine bar, and we always used to shoot the breeze. We used to go out sometimes to other bars when he was off duty. But you were well known in West London. You were really well known. People knew when you were coming past or walking or driving along. So you made it to retirement, and you made it to sergeant.
Yes, I passed my sergeant's exam in 1976, and I was stationed West Hampstead, and from there I went to serve at other different police stations. I got promoted to detective sergeant, and that's what I did throughout my service.
That was pretty good. I mean, at that point now, you are Norwell Roberts, detective sergeant. You're not Norwell Roberts, the black guy that joined the force. You've moved along. But I have to ask you, Noz, when towards the end of your career, was prejudice still as apparent then, or was it now not so apparent?
Well, I didn't think prejudice was still there. I mean, it must have been, but I think must speak honestly here. I think that people accepted me for who I was, and I think I was appreciated for the work I did, obviously.
Yeah.
But it was still about I believe just recently there's been in a place called Charing Cross, which is near Bow Street, where I started.
Yeah.
There's a lot of prejudice there, misogyny and racism, and so what's changed? And in fact, I did an article.
Very sad to hear that.
It is, and it really is, and I don't know. I think some people will never learn.
Looking now, as you've retired and you've been, I guess, held on a high plateau, which doesn't make the beginning any easier. But looking in from the outside now in retirement, what do you see, Nos?
Well, looking in there, I see a different place from when I joined, a different police force, obviously. There's obviously policemen of very high ranking. In fact, there was a chief constable in Kent, I believe. So things have changed. And I think it definitely changed.
But a long time, yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's a bit too slow at the moment. And I have to say that, I mean, I've been honest here. I hope I've been honest that people don't want it to change. They're scared of change.
Oh, I know
if
that.
You can understand what that means. You know, they're afraid of change, and they don't want to be the worst person who says, "Oh no, we can't do that," because you think, "Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know about that." And if you don't want change, then change will never happen.
No, but I see you as the harbinger of change. You paved the way for everything that came after it, and you went through one hell of a rough ride, as we've said in your book. Let's talk about what was it like being getting the Queen's Police Medal. What did you know that you were going to get it? Was it completely out of the blue?
I had no idea I was going to get it because there was some of my mates that I worked with, they'd play jokes on you. I remember a letter came through the door and it said that you've been awarded the QPM, the Queen's Police Medal. Her Majesty is minded to award you a medal. And I thought, I said it's a joke to my missus because she opened the letter. And I said, what else does it say? And there's a pass here to go to Buckingham Palace to park your car. Then I thought, it's true.
Wow.
And then I had to keep quiet, obviously. But I had no idea I was going to get it. I hope I've got it for what I've done for others, and I've made the life a little bit easier for others. I would hope I have.
I think say that's 100% why you got it, but it kind of not vindicated everything that happened to you, but raised you up above everybody else, finally, that you were the guy that got the Queen's Police Medal. A black guy as well, Nos. That's incredibly good.
But it's always the first. I remember once I was talking to a reporter, and I said to her, well, why is it that you always pick on me? She said, well, you were the first. And she said, I'll never forget this. She said, people always remember the first. And she said to me, who was the first man on the moon? And I said, well, I don't know, Buzz Aldrin, I think I said. And she said, or whatever, or Neil Armstrong.
Yeah.
And she said, who was the second? I couldn't tell her. She said, that's exactly right. People remember the first.
Yeah.
No one remembers the second. I alluded to it earlier on when I said the second black policeman, he got killed. Nobody remembers him.
No.
The only one they remember is me.
Yeah. And what difference did it make? I mean, you sent me a photograph of you proudly holding your Queen's Police Medal. I mean, that was a fabulous picture. You were smiling from ear to ear, and it was a very proud moment for you, Nos, quite rightly so. What was it like going into Buckingham Palace and getting awarded that Queen's Police Medal?
Going to Buckingham Palace was, I think there was only one other policeman at that who got it at that with me, Queen's Police Medal. It was just a bit of an eye opener because I hired a car and I drove right through the gates.
Yeah. Stopped
in the courtyard. My missus and her mum, they went up one side and I went to the other side, and we were all there in a room with the other recipients of different medals, the MBEs and OBEs and everything. And we were just there talking, and then I went in and called my name, and I went up to Prince Charles, King Charles as he is now, and I could bow, and he gave me the medal, and he said, "Well done," and he said, "You're in charge of crime at Golders Green." I said, "Yes, I'm on the crime desk at Golders Green," and I said, "Things are a little bit easier now." He said, "How's crime?" I said, well, things are a bit easier now with computers, although I'm still no good at computers, as you probably know. Sorry. And I shouldn't have said this, really. I said, well, you could do with a little bit of help here because you haven't got many black guardsmen. And he looked at me, the household cavalry bloke behind him had a sword. He's looked at me, his eyes bored through me, because you're not supposed to say anything to them, obviously. When you're accepting the medal, you speak when you're spoken to.
Yeah.
I said, however, I didn't care. It was the only one and only chance. I said, well, you could do with a few more black people in your guardsmen. He said, yes, you're right. Then I thought I'd stay my welcome, gave a court bow and legged it backwards away from him, then turned around
And one thing he said to you, we need more people like you.
Oh, yes, he did say we need more people like you. And of course, he's right. We do need more ethnic and other people of different policemen in the force, obviously, to make a representative of the whole, really.
Tell people about your book, I Am Norwell Roberts.
Well, years, a long time ago, I wanted to write a book because, and I started to write it. In fact, it was almost written when Lady Diana, Princess Diana, died. And the editor, she said, well, your book's coming along. We're due to go to press, but Lady Diana's died, so we need to concentrate our efforts towards her. So I thought no more about it. And I'm a Freemason, as you probably know.
Oh, yes.
And there was a Freemason who makes films. There's a chap who makes films on murders, I think. And he said to me, have you ever fancied writing a book? I said, well, yeah, I've written it. He said, well, if you write it, I'll make sure it gets in the press. And that's how it started.
And after that, so then when was the book published? 2022?
Yeah, the book was published in June last year. And it's doing very well on Amazon.
Good. But your life really changed after you retired. You then became a celebrity, which perhaps was the right way. You know, it's difficult being a police officer and being a celebrity. But after you retired, you had more time to do the things. Now you've done TV interviews. No.
I went on BBC News, BBC Breakfast, and the ITV Good Morning Show. It's like that. I'm known as a listed Londoner on the Robert Elms show, as someone who Londoners look up to, apparently.
So you're
a
live up to that person, which means that you're kind of a VIP.
Oh, not really. VIPs are rich. They've got money. I haven't got any money.
I know you don't. I got to say to all of you, as long as I have known Nos Roberts, he is one of the most humble people I've ever come across, and always has been. It's a pleasure to have known you so long, Nos.
No, the pleasure's all mine. It's nice of you to take, when I met you, to being so forthcoming, because you must remember, for people to be friends as long as we have, that takes something on both ways.
Yes, it does.
I'm proud to have known you, and thank you for being my friend.
You're kidding. It's the other way around, Nos. You've done so well. I hope people will watch this and see who you really are. I'll show you a link, everybody, so you can know where to buy Nos's book, I Am Norwell Roberts. And I hope you've all enjoyed these beautiful pictures that Nos sent me. Nos, what can I say? It was such a pleasure meeting with you like this.
Well, thank you very much for keeping in touch. That's all I can say. That's it's good. There's not many people I can say have been friends as long as we have.
No,
that will always continue.
And when I go back to London, we'll meet up again.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
I'll take you to dinner this time.
Oh, you're on. All right, Nos, it's been a great interview, and thank you so much. And from the heart, love you, man.
No worries.